It was the day after Thanksgiving, and Zach had convinced and cajoled his older two brothers to take him sledding.
All of my brothers are back in town after being away from college, and I'm a young kid, so I want to go sledding. It was like a really snowy Thanksgiving. I remember that.
It was a very snowy Thanksgiving weekend, and perfect for that sort of thing.
We find this one part of the hill that it's pretty steep and it looks like a nice sledding hill, but it goes right into the wall of the ice rink. So we decided, brave boys that we were, that we would go down this hill and jump off before we got into the wall. My brother Jake decides he'll be the daredevil and he'll go down face first on this slick part of the ice. And I remember him saying, as he's like charging down the hill, "This is so stupid!" And then he went headfirst into the wall, and it was just silent.
Marilee was cooking, and the phone rang. Hello?
The home phone rang, and it was Michael, and I just heard Dave's side of the conversation, but he said, oh, well, is he okay?
When we were at this park that day, we were the only kids there sledding. There were no other families at this park.
Well, the phone rang within just a very few minutes from the first phone call, and this time I heard an urgency in Dave's voice, and I heard him say, hang up and call 911 right away, and we're on the way.
Michael had a different sound in his voice, and it was obvious that it was more than just a cut on the head. He said that Jake is really hurt, he can't move.
Where are you?
And I said, well, where are you? He goes, I have no idea.
We were so flustered from everything that was happening that we didn't quite remember where we were.
Called 911, got the ambulance, told him the situation. I said, meet me at the Groveland School because I don't know exactly where they are.
I heard Dave ask Michael, do you see the ambulance? We're being followed by an ambulance, can you see it? And Michael said, no, but I can hear it. And I heard Dave say to him, we'll try and flag it down.
So I just said, okay, we're gonna just start driving down Minnetonka Boulevard. Listen for us, look for us, flag us down.
I was looking on both sides, and I heard Dave, as he was looking over to the left, say, I think I see you.
As I was looking to the left, I thought I saw a glimpse of our vehicle.
I was looking in the same direction Dave was, and I heard him say, I think I see you. We're coming. And what I was looking at was a child holding up our red sled. It was just a very distinctive sled that I recognized as one that we owned.
Marilee said, I see him. I thought she meant the kids. So I took a left. And I didn't know really where I was going, but I turned left and followed this road, and then took another left, and I came across the scene.
I found my son standing up with his head just against this wall that was the surround of a hockey rink. I saw he had just a goose egg over his eye, and blood that was on the hat he'd been wearing, and that's when it really struck me that this is something quite serious.
And the ambulance got there, and they immediately, did their thing. They strapped him to the board. They secured his neck. They talked to him to see how he was like, and he didn't know who he was. He didn't know what holiday it was. He didn't know anything.
They needed to wire the bones at the back of his neck together to make them stable, and a plate was put in the front of his neck.
He was in the hospital until well after New Year's, because I remember spending New Year's in the hospital.
Well, at some point, our family felt like we'd give him some space, and we all went to a lounge that was nearby. And Dave's sister wanted to hear every detail of the incident, so he was telling her, and he got to the point where he said,
Zach said, Mom, there was no one else on the hill with us that night. Mike and I were both with Jake the whole time.
And it just flooded over me that not only could it not have been Zach I saw, because as soon as we got to them, Zach was there, so he couldn't have been at this other location. But even more, I realized that running out of the house that day to get into my car, I had had to step over the sled that the boys must have just discarded at the last minute.
It was an aha moment. It was, wow, because someone guided us to those 3 boys.
It's very spectacular how everything worked out, because my brother managed to hit his head in like the perfect way that they were able to fix him just right. And I mean, the whole story about my mom and the sled.
I saw something that couldn't have been there. And I choose to believe that it was a heavenly presence, an angel, that it was some presence that helped me to feel like God was with us even in that scariest moment.
I can't help but ignore the fact that there was something special going on, and there was something or somebody looking out for me and my brother.
Well, we witnessed a miracle firsthand, so I'm a very true believer in God's miracle and God's hands in our lives.